Fy fan. But now
When'd you get here? Tuesday?
We got on Wednesday, so we almost went straight to the rehearsal for. I played the Dime Bash, so we went to rehearsal. Both me and Elise were like almost passing out at rehearsal, just waiting for my fucking song so I could go and rehearse it. So that was rough.
What did you play?
I played 5 songs: Planet Caravan, New Level,
Nice,
Primal,
nice.
Refuse Resist, and Roots.
Wow.
It was great. It was awesome.
So you played Roots with Andreas?
No, with Derek.
Derek.
Andreas did a Metal Allegiance.
Oh, okay.
It was at the exact same time.
I saw pictures of Derek today with Dewey.
Yes.
And my German friend Christina.
Yes.
His roommate.
Yes.
Beautiful people.
Yeah, dude. Derek,
Well, I'm sorry I missed
such a
that.
nice guy. Holy.
I love Derek. I love running
guy.
to Sepultura on tour.
And loud. He had to hold his microphone here.
Yeah, he if the PA gives out, you can still hear him.
Yeah. Holy shit, that was amazing. So that was
He's
great.
great bunch of guys.
You did Dime Bash 1 or 2 years ago, right?
I believe maybe the very first year.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Because I think they do it like every 3rd year or something like that.
I did actually 2 songs. I got up. That was the first one when Dave Grohl was there.
Yes, that's right.
And they did the Ace of Spades, I think.
Oh, cool.
And it was a really cool night. I played with Dave Lombardo and Doug Pinnick. We played
cool.
Manic Depression.
Oh, dude.
It was awesome. It was fun. We were in the back, and getting introduced. And before we go on, Dave's like, 4, right? And me and Doug are like, no, man, it's all 3s, man. 1, 2, 3, bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3. Da. He's like, all right, cool. And then as soon as we go to play, Dave actually goes for 4.
Yeah.
So and Doug and I start on 3. So we have that little. But it was magical. And then I don't believe I remember anyone but other than Mark Zavon and I played This Love.
Oh, nice.
It's always nice to kind of like step up and try to like learn those at those moments. I forget them right after I learn them.
Same, exact same. So
But,
it's a hassle actually. I really have to fucking look through and like really learn.
I was never a guy that did that.
Yeah,
but
I have
saw
to
like,
because that's my security. Like otherwise, it's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
I have to know it inside and out. Otherwise,
yeah. There's a mad respect that I have for that, and I grew up in a generation where people like kind of would speed records down.
Yeah.
But however, like Daryl would do it.
Yeah.
And however, like Rick Del Castillo, which one of our 2 friends, and Rick plays with Del Castillo. With his brother, like a flamenco Spanish rock band. These 2 were my buddies, and they were like, for instance, both of them actually played Crowley.
Oh.
And when I say note for note, it's an understatement. It was literally note for note.
Wow.
Daryl's tribute to Randy Rhoads would include his sound guy giving him the effects that were actually on the album. And if you closed your eyes at the end of Suicide Solution, the tricks that he would do, you literally thought it was the record. So this was, that was a staple in the Pantera shows back in the day. He would do that. And that's how we kind of like broke the ice and met in Houston one time. I had a guitar student who was a big Randy Rhoads fan, and I had seen Daryl and Philip on their, coincidentally, the very first Pantera show with Phil in it, which was in Shreveport. I happened to be in another band called Black Sheep. I was like, man, I'm gonna go see it. It was Daryl I'd heard so much about. And sure enough, man, that delivered more than enough. And I was like, God damn, and he did that thing. So when I came back to Houston, I told my guy about it. So me personally, I gotta get like, man, I try to catch the vibe. I try to do it justice. And there's some times where I just kind of pull out my own stunts, man. But
I mean, you're in the position of doing that. I mean, I think a lot of players out there, I'm including myself in this, and also someone that I was so pleasantly surprised seeing at the Dime Bash was Courtney Cox. Oh, she played everyone out. I mean, she was amazing.
She's amazing.
She had practiced. I mean, they played Shattered, right? Not the most common Pantera song. Oh, she fucking nailed it.
Yeah. I played Shattered with Ripper actually.
God damn.
It's a tough one.
No kidding. I mean, it was really impressive. She just nailed everything she had prepared.
That's awesome.
And that I really, really admired a lot.
Well, I've seen your 10 dime solos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You definitely know.
But like you said,
it's
it's like when it's done, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, go play that flood solo. It's like I don't remember. It's like it's gone already.
You gotta practice it.
Dude,
again.
we need to start this interview.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with OLA. That was a great intro, by the way. I probably have to keep that. Marzi Montazeri of Heaviest Texas also played with Philip Anselmo, but now playing in Exhorder. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
I love you.
Great to see you. I
You're
love you,
awesome.
man. Thank you for having me.
How you doing this NAMM? Is it
I'm having a great NAMM.
good?
I'm having a great NAMM. I'm more relaxed than I've ever been before.
Okay, what's the secret to a good NAMM?
A good NAMM I get social anxiety really bad. I get up in the morning, so I have like some time alone.
Yes.
Like you can call it meditative time,
Yeah.
and then so I can like gather myself, and then I'm I can manage to, I focus on what I need to go to and do.
Yeah.
And so that kind of makes it involved.
So you have a plan already.
I have a plan, and then there's always the the surprises and the pleasant
Right.
surprises and all that goes along with it, which makes it pleasantly fun.
Yeah.
That's also awesome. But this NAMM's been great because I've been tone searching for a live rig, and I've seen so many things, and then
There's a lot of cool things for that.
obviously the main reason I came here was for this guy. Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously Marzi is a solo artist. We've known each other from the Washburn days, and it's just we meet every year. It's always a pleasure talking to you and just kicking it, basically.
Pleasure's mine. You've been like, that guy. It's steady, and I have a lot of love and respect for you. You've been, just the same dude, man, doing the same thing. I was talking live on Facebook earlier, and I was giving you props because, it's like you deserve all of this because, man, the hard work that you put in. And it couldn't happen to a better dude because I know your heart is in the complete right place, man.
Thank you.
And I think it transcends through everyone.
I hope so.
And everywhere I go, man, on tour, no matter where I am, you come up, in conversation,
cool.
and
That's
everyone knows you and it respects you, and I love that, man. I love it. It couldn't happen to a better dude, and it's a product of hard work. And it could happen too, but it happened. You was just like, you're such a good dude, man.
Thank you so much. It makes me happy.
Yeah, and you take so much care into, and you're thorough with your explanation and things. And I want to check something out, and I want to, the minuscule details about it. You explain that in such a common way. It's understandable, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's real nice to hear you talk about me, but you're here for me interviewing you.
Yeah,
so,
I dig it, but I have to
you so
give you
much.
thanks because for the guitar community and as a whole, you're doing so much, and I have to give you thanks.
Thank you.
I have to.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, Exhorder, man.
Yeah,
that's the real deal.
Yeah,
right there.
It's so much fun.
I mean, a lot of people say that basically Exhorder was the sound of Pantera before Pantera got their sound. Sort of. I mean, I guess it might be a little of a
similarity.
Well, there are similarities, no doubt about it.
I love Exhorder right off the bat.
Yeah.
So it was my favorite heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Right off of listening to them.
Yeah.
Everybody knows my relationship with Dime, and
Yeah.
obviously I played with Phil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody work as hard as the guys in Pantera.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They deserve everything they got.
Yeah.
Flat out. I always say this, and I stand by it because I'm older and I've seen it. But Van Halen's my thing.
Yeah.
They were the second coming of Van Halen.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Yeah.
And I've never lost my shit live before when a band just has come out because nobody had that impact as Van Halen.
Yeah.
When they would first come out and you silhouette of lights and they would all the lights on Eddie when the beat would come in and Roth was like in the middle of the air. Till I saw Pantera again, at the Houston Summit, the same venues that Van Halen was playing. I was like losing it, man.
Yeah.
And Exhorder was just like so complex, man.
Yeah.
So in 2017, I'm in a band with Kyle called Heaviest Texas. It's like a hard rockish band, borderline metal, and we touch on different stuff, It's not straight thrash metal, and like Exhorder is. And he said, while we were recording our debut album, he said, I got back with Vinny and talking to him and stuff like, would you be interested? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so he's like, Vinny wants to talk to you. So I talked to Vinny once or twice. He said, we really would like for you to be in this band, And I said, yes. And the next day, Blabbermouth we're playing in New York, like on a Friday and a Saturday.
Yeah.
Playing one album Friday and another album Saturday. And I call him back and I'm like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
It's just some difficult stuff. And I don't know if you've heard the Exhorder records, but the tone of the guitars, you can't make it out. And it's almost a crime that you can't make it out because it's insane.
Yeah.
It's criminal, I had to have Vinny make videos of what he was doing for me to get it.
Right.
So that helped out. Even with those, it took 16-hour days. Because I had 3 months to prepare for this.
Oh yeah,
and he was telling me
working up a catalog, man.
He was telling me it took the original guitar player Jay. That's what he said, 6 months to learn it, and I have 3 months to learn 2 albums. The second one was more complex than the first one, so I can't begin to tell you the feelings that I was having. I was going through, like I can't, like a transformation. Like I get thrown into a fire where I couldn't sleep anymore. I couldn't wait to actually wake up to engage,
Yeah.
So on the hour, I had my, alarm go off.
Yeah.
So I would do 20 push-ups, drink water, and I would just study parts. Some of them would take me half a day to get, and they were like, boom, gone.
Yeah.
Inside of one song, there were like 1,000 parts, and I couldn't just learn them. I had to get the essence. It's like,
Well,
and like we were just talking earlier about playing other people's music and stuff like that. That really wasn't my forte.
Yeah.
So the adaptation game came in strong, and then during the solos and whatnot, I get to be flexible and do my thing, but still pay respects to what's been on the record. I never,
Dude, it's a lot of hard work. Like joining a band like that already has a catalog that's really immense. Like it's
it was a lot, man.
Yeah,
it was a lot. It was a lot.
Shit.
It was a lot of respect to those guys for, which to me is Chris Nail, the drummer.
Yeah.
Which to me, his drumming on that album is revolutionary.
Yeah.
Vinny's writing is just like, it's insane. And Kyle's vocals are like, he's a true original.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, his vocals are still fucking awesome.
It's still to this day. So the new
album is a fucking holy shit.
I'm so glad you like it.
Yeah,
man.
it's great. It's
when they give me a mix of My Time, I drive like a grandma.
Yeah.
I'm not the speedy guy at all. I literally would go and see my girlfriend in Lafayette.
Yeah.
It's 4 hours away.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 speeding tickets.
Oh yeah.
Listening to that song. I'd be going over 100 going, wait a minute. Like, seriously, uncontrollably, just like, So it's been a while since something like has done that to me.
Yeah.
And I just happen to be in a band now that we play that music. So playing it live, man, it's keeping me live. Keeping me young.
Yes, exactly. Well, you have to fight for it, I guess.
Yeah, it feels good.
Do you feel like
it feels so good, especially playing in Europe.
Yeah.
It feels so good that it's just the people singing, the love for it.
Yeah.
There's no fear of showing the love. Actually, I'm not too cool. Attitude doesn't exist. Kind of like I don't see it. I see 10-year-old kid with his mom and dad and his grandpa and his aunt and uncle standing in line to get an autograph, and they all are just, you can see it in their face. You can see an equal amount of love, and nobody's pushing each other over. And it's just like, I always say we play in front of tens of thousands of people in these festivals in Europe. I never see one fight.
No.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The heavy metal community is beautiful, man. I love
the festival scene in Europe is something else.
It's
festival summer is.
And we were going to be playing, we're going to be playing, I don't know all the festivals. The one in Prague, the one Alcatraz, and we're playing all the festivals again this summer heavily.
Yeah.
I'm looking very forward to that.
Did you feel like when you, you're an incredible guitar player, but when you sat down and learned all these songs, did you feel like you were progressing quick as a guitar player?
Absolutely.
Because it's the times where I've joined bands and learned their catalog and learning other people's songs, like you say, it's you play something you're normally not playing.
Yeah.
And I've seen so much growth in myself every time I've done that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can see it.
And you felt that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was the crazy thoughts that go along with it too were like not welcome, but that's kind of like the territory I was involved in.
Yeah.
I thought about dental students. I thought about people that, because look, I had a deadline.
Yeah.
And there was no way out.
No.
So I thought about like crazy things. I was like, pressure, and like I was in a pressure cooker. So I didn't have enough hours during the day.
Yeah.
I wasn't even eating much, I wasn't cooking and cleaning because I'm like a mom and a dad.
Right.
And I wasn't doing any of that. I was getting takeout or ordering food, and I was just like going to the bathroom and then coming back, man, and just like drinking water, drinking coffee, lots of it. And just practicing. Watching the videos over and over. And my game is repetition. Everybody finds a different way. I don't sight read. So this wasn't a sight reading kind of situation.
Yeah.
I don't think Vinny could write it either, but he made videos, and
I mean, there's so much information. I mean,
if
you already didn't know the full catalog by heart,
no.
If you don't know it, it's super hard.
Well, I was a fan of the band.
Exactly.
And did not know how to play one riff.
Yeah, exactly.
I just jammed it.
But still, it's the same with the Haunted. Like when I joined the Haunted, I knew the band. I listened to the band, but you have to listen to the band.
Yes.
Like you have to really listen what happens. And that's kind of like, oh shit, now I have to listen to the songs again, but with another mindset that you have to play it.
Yeah.
And Exhorder is not easy.
And it's not easy. My best friend, my first best friend in America, Blosk, Elias, he played with a band called Slaughter.
Yeah.
Who then went on to be a blue man.
Oh,
right?
cool.
Okay. So he had to learn all that stuff too. But now he's with Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, cool.
We just recently he came through Houston, we had lunch, and we were having this conversation. He was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
He goes, man, I had this much time.
Yeah.
There's a lot I had to learn, and there's like, hey, you put a show together and stuff like that and no matter, I guess it keeps you young. You know how you're in a profession,
but it's challenging.
This was the most challenging for me because I personally have to, throughout my career and life, I've had to just dig in and bring it out myself.
Yeah.
So I had to challenge myself. There's nobody been there to kind of so I look to someone that inspires me, and I try to just learn more theory or different scales. And,
exactly.
But ultimately, my strengths are just picking it up and noodling.
Yep.
And then if I come up with something, I don't know what key it's in, but then I hear, I like to on the Heaviest Texas album is probably the first thing where every song I changed keys for the solos.
Yeah, right.
I started wearing big boy pants. I produced one for myself.
Yeah.
Well, I did one with Ripper too.
Okay.
The Ripper EP was heavier. Heaviest Texas, more rock.
Yeah.
It's funny, they call me the high priest of distortion. And when we laugh because I barely use any gain with that band.
Yeah.
I could play with a plexi and I could get away with it.
Yeah.
But with Exhorder it's changed, and I think I'm putting Heaviest Texas to rest.
Yep.
And with the band members, I'm starting a new band.
Okay.
I'm going to be heavier.
Gotcha.
For now, I'm going to put that band to rest. Okay. I have a lot of bluesy songs.
Yeah.
That just don't fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I played a Heaviest Texas riff at the Exhorder sound check, and our manager Simon just looked at me funny because it sounded kind of country.
Yeah.
And he was like,
gotcha.
"What is that?" So there's right place and the right time to do your licks.
I mean, you change as a person as well. I mean, there's eras of you or yourself.
True.
I mean, you've gone through a lot, and it just evolves into something else. I mean, if you can do whatever you want, do something new, and just do it. I mean, just makes sense.
It makes sense, and I've always grew up on loving bands like Black Sabbath, Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, where there was a guitar player, and it was marketed that way too. All the magazines would have a picture of Eddie and David Lee Roth, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page. So it was like Ozzy, and it was that was my fantasy. Yeah. And then Randy came, it was like a dream, man, maybe one day I get to play with Ozzy. That was be that guy or something like that.
Of course.
I lost my train of thought. As soon as I said Randy Rhoads, man.
Yeah.
What were we talking about here?
I don't remember. We talked about you joining Exhorder, but let us talk about this thing.
I'm the master of that. I had something important to say. But
have you met Devin Townsend?
I love Devin.
Yeah, dude, amazing. Dude, this thing though.
Yes.
So you're now a solo artist, a signature artist.
Proud.
That makes me really, really proud, and I feel really honored to have you. And
I feel honored
pick
to
it
be
up,
part
man. Pick it up, show it. This is the first time people are probably going to see it.
There it is.
So it's an E-type, but it's your E-type, man. This little stripe there.
You get the raised middle.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hell.
I love it very
Looks
much. Wood mounted pickups.
Yep.
Push pull, obviously, to get the versatility and the different tones.
Yep.
And you get a lot of different tones because it works for all three
Yep.
pickups, so you get 6 tones out of it.
Yep. How do you work it? So you have 2-tone, or do you have 2 volumes, or
2 master volumes.
Yeah.
2 master volumes. So, I guess what a good analogy would be what I had heard, like Eddie use a Flying V for Hot for Teacher. So, say like when he flipped the pickup,
yeah, exactly.
he was just on a different pickup, volume turned down.
Yep.
And you can do the kill switch and stuff like that with it too.
Exactly.
And different tones. It's one tone.
Yep.
And I think the tone only applies to the rhythm pickup.
Okay.
So you get that guess who tone
gotcha.
with like all the highs cut out.
Right. That's cool.
It sings though.
Dude.
And it's what I like about this compared to the previous one is like you see that?
Yeah, there's
Okay,
it's
so
well enough.
when you sit,
room.
when you sit like classical style, when
Yeah.
you're sitting down or
Yeah.
in the studio, you play this and you get there and everything's cool.
Yeah.
This guitar standing up feels like you're sitting down.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's because it's a different ballgame when you're standing up.
Yeah, it
so
is.
I play this guitar at home standing up.
Okay.
See, because that's how I'm going to be playing
Yeah,
anyways.
right,
but
right.
it's that comfortable.
Yeah.
And the main thing that I love about it is the reach that I get on the 24th fret. No worries.
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
Previously I had to get there, and then in the longer necks I had to do this.
Yeah, of course.
Out of my hip fingers.
Yeah.
And this is
This is also the first E-type guitar we had with 24 frets.
Yes.
So it's very exclusive
Yes.
with that.
Well, I took the 22 frets on the road with Exhorder in the last
Yes.
2-3 tours.
Yeah.
And they just,
You just have to bend way too much on that 22nd fret to reach the 24.
Yeah.
That's the
or
thing, man. You always kind of miss the 23 and 24 if you're not having it.
Yeah. Well, I grew up playing only 22s.
Okay.
So it was, for me,
Yeah.
it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was going back home. But I didn't have the placements for certain notes that I had to do. And, I had to use the whammy.
Yeah.
To get the bend, it's kind of crazy.
You have such an incredible picking technique. I want to show this to the world.
It's unorthodox.
But I think I've tried to show this to the world before, because it's truly something that's really probably the only guy I've seen to be able to play like you do. Well, it's not common, at least.
Yes, unorthodox, I guess.
It's very unorthodox.
That's what I was saying. Is like I really grew up on the streets in terms of literally in life and guitar playing, and I would even when I would watch Eric Johnson this close and I would go home trying to mimic him.
Yeah.
I couldn't, man.
No.
I would come up with, but it would inspire me and push me to come up with harmonics and figure these things out he had gotten from jazz dudes or whatnot.
Exactly.
But the picking. I just, it's just something I tend to my strengths, and I can't explain it. It's just something that it works for me.
Yeah.
It's easy for
Exactly.
me. But
People do it all the
recently,
time.
the older I get, especially, I do try to, learn different things and whatnot.
Right. So, turn on an amplifier. I want to hear
All
it.
right.
I want to hear it. Power on.
Oh yeah, that would work. Coffee with OLA.
Yeah, there it is.
Cheers.
There it is. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, this is sick. Okay.
I love this.
This I'm gonna do very professional, by the way. I'm gonna bring up my iPhone and film this. I'll just mix it with this.
Okay.
So I want to see you do that crazy ass
Galloping?
gallop shit,
Yeah.
dude. That
was like a natural thing for me.
Yeah.
And it works with lesser gain, the more gain.
Right.
Because it's a progressive thing.
Exactly.
And I get the triplet by actually hitting 2 on my pick.
Okay.
And then I hammer down a note.
Oh yeah.
And from
okay.
then on, I went to 2 notes that
Okay.
get quads. And I'll explain now. So it's like if it were just one pick stroke, it would be like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a combination of
Yeah, it's
proper muting and picking, basically.
On the fretboard, you know. So that's kind of.
I mean, if you have like a proper noise gate, that can be really effectful. Like,
Yeah,
really
and then a lot of game won't work on it.
No.
Unless you're at a certain volume where it's percussive.
Yes, exactly.
It will work, and you know, I've never liked any kind of gates in my life. So I'm coming from like an old school dude, and I'm gonna.
Do you dial down the volume a little bit? Like on the guitar?
No. My story is this: that like even when I was younger, I was hanging out with dudes that were way older than me.
Yeah.
You know, and I was getting to, like getting their 2 cents, and they were traditional tunes. And I
Right.
kind of kept it along with me.
Yeah.
And man, I lose my train of thought so damn fast. I'm being Devin now. The ghost
No,
of
it's
Devin
fine.
is. But the gain. What were we talking about? Gain.
Yeah, like the amount of gain for using that.
Oh,
that
I've
percussive.
never. Sorry about that. I never used any kind of gates.
Yeah.
Like and then people go, "What do you do for clean channel?" And
Right.
I turn the guitar down.
Yeah.
You know, but man, now I use a clean channel.
Oh, you do?
Now I use the dirty channel. I use a clean channel with a 1-foot switch. And Mike Fortin's Zool was the game changer for me. Now I won't go anywhere without the Zool.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I won't go anywhere without the Zool because I work with delays and I work with reverbs, and not only it gives me a clean and it doesn't cut any trails off at all.
Exactly.
It's heaven for me to be able to be in a live environment and have that hiss completely out.
Yeah.
Because you go through the front, you go through the back, and so it's killer.
So you were saying you were looking for your tone at NAMM,
Yes.
sort of. What are your plans?
So, you know, with touring these days and the fly rig, so that
Yes.
you need to constantly be prepared for that, because at the, you know, with Philip, I was at the mercy of a few shows of like Fly, like the Moscow was one that I'll never forget because it was like nothing worked for me.
Yeah.
And those things, those shows have been like 1 or 2 in my life, where like the tone was horrible.
Yeah.
And there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
So you get the mercy of what you're given, and you know, you do the best with it. You know, you turn everything on 10, and you go away from the monitors and you play with, you know. So I don't want that anymore. And then with Exhorder, we did that. We did that, and luckily now, you know, the amp community, you know, and the backlines have become more modern, and I can get my tone from you know, a PV, or
exactly.
you know, the modern Marshalls or the whatever they supply mainly, and you know, you get a VHT or EVH heads, like money, man. This is great. You don't have to do a lot to it. I take a Maxon on the road with me, and I take a MXR reverb. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's
and you
the
can
only
plug
way.
it into any fucking backline rectifier, 5150 EVH, like you said. I mean,
Correct. That's the only way I color it.
Yeah.
And mostly I like to go into the amp.
Yes.
So I don't have to really color it. And I use like an overdrive pedal for sustain on leads and stuff like that.
Of course. But you're looking to like a flying rig type of deal anyway. Like
I came into it looking for like a small lunchbox head that I can take on with me on the plane with me, because obviously I can't throw a tube head or a pedal. You know, and with you know, solid state power section.
Yes, exactly.
Or any, you know, you can.
I think we're really getting there though. I mean, every year just pushing and pushing.
Today, I mean, this NAMM.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. We were talking about how happy I personally am at this NAMM. It's because I came here and hit 2 home runs. Mike Fortin's little head was mind blowing. And Kyle's little pedal. It was also like, you know, in a, you know, you can put that in your pocket.
Exactly.
And to think that you can go through a loop and use the power section of another amp, you know, to get that. So it's the consistency that I love about it.
Yeah.
And not having to just like go in there and just fish.
Yeah.
And with that consistency, then your confidence is like there,
Yeah.
and so you can concentrate and focus on what you need to, which is your performance.
Yes, exactly. That's cool. So you had, I mean, you were good friends with Dime. Do you have a really good Dime story to share?
Dime story. There's so many Dime stories to share.
Like whenever we meet, and we just
Yeah,
talk.
and I know you're a big fan of him, and
I
kind of like.
I like whenever you speak, I just listen and I love it.
Yeah.
Like whenever you talk about Dimebag or like the Pantera,
I miss him so much, and I just like I see the trail that he's left behind, and I just like I know him so well.
Yeah.
I just know that he would be, he'd be your best friend, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
If he was alive, he'd
Yeah.
freak out on Wes's playing the way,
Yes, shit.
and he would love you, and like would like. The thing about him was like, him and I became friends in a generation where guitar players were like, ugh.
Yeah, it
Look
was
at each
cool.
other like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't that dude, but
Yeah.
we became good friends because he made sure, man, I knew that he wasn't that dude.
Yeah.
He came in with just like compliments and like, and
Yeah.
like he freak out on people. Like Blues Saraceno,
Yeah.
he'd freak out on Blues. I didn't even know who Blues was, but he's like, have you heard this dude? I was like, wow, man, let me listen. And he picked up stuff from people, man.
Yeah.
And he bettered himself.
Yeah.
And that's like what Randy did.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
totally like taking the ball, and then actually doing it. He had enormous amounts of love, and I would say he was a complete purist.
Yeah.
He's just someone that's born to do something.
Right.
He was fired. Stories about Dime, man. I have so many, so many. I don't know. The first time they played with Philip was in Shreveport. I didn't know this. I happened to be with a band, and I wanted to go see him. And it was their last set of the night.
Yeah.
And I remember they came out. Philip had long hair. I remember all this. Dime came back, had like a vest on, frizzy hair. And Phil just came on and goes, somebody give me a motherfucking doctor. And they played Van Halen. Right off the bat, I was just standing there, watching this guy play.
Yeah.
And it was like his guitar.
Yeah.
His personality was like this is like lightning bolts.
Yeah.
He played the Van Halen solo note for note, but it wasn't that he played it note for note. He gave it life, man.
Yeah.
And then he did that night. He did Randy Rhoads kind of like 4 or 5 solos put together, like
like
a
a
medley.
medley.
Yeah. And it was like I didn't even know what to think at that time. So I didn't say hi to him or nothing. Afterwards, I was leaving because I was like in a band and I'd gone by myself to see them. So I was like, got him back in the van, and I was getting in the van. And I saw him walking down the street, this fro going and him talking. He sounded crazy. I was like, cool dude, man. So I came and told my student about him, Kyle, and I was like, Kyle, man, yeah, met this dude Daryl. I mean, didn't meet him. I saw him play. You should meet him. So.
Yeah.
I went to introduce this kid to Daryl.
Yeah.
Saying, man, this kid loves you and blah, blah, blah. And that's how we became friends. He said, what you doing later, man? Come hang out. We went to a Motel 6 or La Quinta
right.
Inn or something. He goes, man, I heard you good, man. See what you got.
Good.
I was like, what? Jesus, what? So he tells his tech to go and to the van or truck or whatever. And this dude comes back with a Marshall Microcube. And he gives me a D&ML, man. He goes, see what you got, man.
Oh, that's
and I'm like,
that's so awesome.
yeah. So I was like, man, it's like Vinny was like this on the bed, and I was like, well, and I started just playing with feeling and stuff like that, and Vinny was like, so I wasn't showing off, man. I didn't know what to play. I just did my little thing, and then we forged our friendship that way.
That's cool.
And then they were playing the Basement in Fort Worth.
Oh yeah.
The following weekend
Okay.
or the next night or something, and we didn't have cell phones and shit like that back then. So he's like, give me his number. And he's like, call me and come. And my sister Christian, was like, drive us to Fort Worth. And my guitar tech to be at the time, David. We all 3 went, and and then when I talked to him, he was like, yeah, man, my brother was like talking all the way back about him. I was like,
cool.
man, I was so humbled by this because, I love them so much because their love for music. When they loved Rush, man, and shit like that, they loved it. Like they loved Kiss and all this stuff. And I loved music a lot too. I just didn't have a brother like Vinny, you know,
Yeah.
to grow up with. I did have Bloss,
Yeah.
but Bloss went with Slaughter, and we were like early 20s,
Yeah.
and I was kind of stranded, and I took a wrong path in life. I just was a bedroom guitar player,
Yeah.
and in Houston there wasn't that many cats I could play with, so I just became this like, I don't know. I let my ego take over and think that something, instead of letting something else take over. I
Yeah.
still practiced.
Yeah.
I got better in a way.
Yeah.
But as far as playing in a group, I didn't watch it happen. I actually watched it happen, and insanely respected the amount of work that the Pantera put into it.
Yeah.
That was school was in session. Anytime they played prior to, now I met them on Power Metal.
Yeah.
I didn't know them before that.
Yeah.
I'd seen them,
Yeah.
so that's my dime story basically, man. Then I went, he just threw me into the fire, and
Yeah,
then we forged our friendship based out of that. And I can't tell you, Eric Johnson's like, I saw Eric Johnson
Yeah.
live for the first time without knowing who he was, and he, like, still to this day I'm shaken by it.
Yeah.
I saw Eric one night have a bad night.
Oh, really?
His amps weren't working out and stuff like that, and his technique's so precise and stuff
Yeah.
like that. He was on, but it just didn't. Something wasn't going on.
Yeah.
I never seen Daryl. I've seen Eddie have a bad night too. Van Halen. We're human. Daryl though was like not human. I never seen him have a bad night. I never seen him not hit his bends.
Yeah.
It's like he was the most consistent monster. He did what he did, and he did it very well. You know, I always like on Power Metal when you hear his solos, like you're like, this dude, it's just like it's fire. So yeah, he inspired me, man, and it was like we got to play together. He invited me actually when I went to Fort Worth for the first time. He had Hollow, the A minor part written down. He goes, let's do solos with it. So he did the first one. He gave me the guitar. I sat there and played a bluesy solo, and he's like, I like that. And the whole premise of it was that he liked me doing. Turn this down. That.
Right.
He liked that. He was like, do that at the end of it.
Okay, cool.
I was like, all right. So I got the fourth solo.
Yeah.
What I felt that day was that I had so much respect for him, man, and he showed me so much love that I was humbled by that the whole time. He was like, anytime I did something cool, it was like, he was like really cool with it, you know. Yeah. He was only a year older than me. It wasn't that big of a difference, man. I thought to myself, I was like, man, we're two dudes, you know, because I'm an immigrant child, you know. Here I can fucking meet somebody that's fine. It's like a fucking real purist.
Yeah.
Like I felt a connection there. And I felt like we both came from Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads. Yeah. And here we were doing our own bluesy way of doing licks on that. And that was cool as shit, dude.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, rest his soul.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude.
it makes me happy to, like, yesterday, hearing people playing his solos and stuff like that. It's just like, wow, the impact he's had is just, it's been great and positive.
Yeah. Dude, Marzi, I love you.
I love you,
so
man.
much for being on my show.
Oh, man, thank you for having me.
Can't wait the next year. We meet again. Thank you so much for watching. Marzi Montazeri, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I love you bunch.
Thank you.
Was that my phone doing that?
That was your phone.
Oh, my God.